Should F1 forget about Nico Rosberg? That's a question a lot of people are asking because people tend to think that he asks pointed questions, he gets dramatic, always talking shit on certain drivers, certain performances. But I got to be honest with you. I think Nico Rosberg is good for Formula One. If you look at Damon Hill, Danica Patrick, Jensen Button, none of these guys ask interesting questions other than, oh, how is the pace doing? Maybe that pit stop wasn't right. I've seen Nico Rosberg as Total Wolf, a guy who was instrumental in achieving the first championship and only championship with him. I've seen him ask people such uncomfortable questions, straight to the point. Why didn't this work out? You made a mistake here. Why'd you make the mistake? All these things, and people are like, yeah, sour grapes, he's always talking trash on Lewis Hamilton. You know, there's got to be somebody in Formula One who says things that are uncomfortable. A lot of Formula One is these British type of, fancy politeness, code of conduct, Queensberry rules. And Americans and most people involved in watching sports and loving sports and being interested in sports want the real questions asked. They don't want, your corporate executive, Good Morning America softball questions. And Nico Rosberg, I don't think he's asking them just because he wants to ask the real questions. I think he's genuinely slighted by a lot of people. He thinks people didn't show him the respect he deserved. A lot of people called him out after he left, said he couldn't handle the pressure. And I think he's got a very big ego about him. And I think that's another reason why people don't like him that much. He's got this rich kid vibe to him, grew up in Monaco. I mean, Hamilton used to always say, I don't know why he drives under the German flag. He grew up in Monaco. Everything about him is Monaco. I saw him drive under the Monegasque flag that Pierre Gasly does. I don't even know why he's associated with Germany just because, his mom comes from there. Because even Keke Rosberg, his dad, who won a Formula One championship, is from Finland. So, a lot of people are down on him about it, but I'd say, there's certain context. Someone called him Britney in a stream, and he's like, please apologize and all this stuff. And he's got that stuck up, attitude and shit. But, someone should have just said, nah, you're Britney, bitch. That's what I'm calling you. I don't care if you're, uncomfortable by that, if you feel so slighted by that. But this guy, you can tell he just feels so slighted about everything. He knows people just look at him like a negative figure. I mean, for all the things people don't like about certain drivers, there really seems to be an animosity from the Lewis Hamilton fans don't like him. I don't think, he's liked by any fan group. Say you like Max Verstappen, you don't really think that much about Nico Rosberg. But you think he's just always throwing the stick inside someone's spoke when they're riding on a bike. He's just got that attitude about him. But I like it. This channel is about, talking real stuff about Formula One, calling out what's wrong with it, the way people are going about things. And we have to give big ups to when people are successful and drive, like we saw Sergio Perez, the other guy. And I think Nico Rosberg is actually honest about that stuff. He gives credit where credit is due when someone puts in a great race, a great performance, anything like that. But he just really has this negative connotation. I think he's out the door soon. I don't think a lot of people are going to put up with him in Formula One again. I'm one of the few people who have always said that this guy asks the controversial, the cutting questions that most of the fans at home at the end of the race want asked. They don't want a bunch of ass kissing from, Jensen Button and Martin Brundle and Crofty and all this. They want straight up real questions. And Nico Rosberg is one of the few guys who only does that. So, he's welcome from me to keep doing that, but I don't think he's going to be around much longer. Total Wolf has disrespected him so many times, saying he's always going after him. And Total Wolf even threw a slight in there. If you saw a couple months ago, he was talking about how, Nico Rosberg was really the championship due to a car failure for Lewis Hamilton at Malaysia. Now, Total Wolf always said it's always about the car, not the drivers. But for him to throw that slight at him, that means that he is not liked by probably one of the most influential guys in Formula One in Total Wolf. And he's not respected by the guy who probably should have the most amount of respect for him. Total Wolf actually dislikes him for the chaos and toxicity that him not accepting the number 2 driver role created between Lewis Hamilton in both of the garages at Mercedes. So that might be another reason he dislikes him. But I really think it's because he only asked Total Wolf, yo, you guys completely messed up, or hey, what was that about? Questions that no other presenter, no other person in the paddock's going to ask him. So as of right now, Brittany's got my support, so keep doing your thing, bitch.